you've never even seen it before. You're wearing something, hopefully, that you don't get to wear every day. Silver shoes, yes. Polka dotted pants, yes. Yes. Hopefully you feel like you're pushing out of your comfort zone a little bit in a hot pink room with a lot of other people who are pushing out. Hanging out with guys like you remember you used to date in college. Yeah. But hopefully you feel like you're pushing out just a little bit. Here's a shoebox that's open. And as we talked about this part of the evening, we wanted to do something fun. We did cupcakes last year, we did tiaras. We had a great time, and we wanted to put a little bit of a spin on it again this year. And I thought about a shoebox I put myself in. I've actually put myself in many. And sometimes you gotta push the lid off. And I put myself in once a few years ago when I took a job. Now, you may have noticed I'm not very good at conforming. I like to do what I want to do. So being in a shoebox at a job. Yes, we enjoy this. But being in a shoebox where the lid is on sometimes can be a really tight pinch. Now, this seems like a galaxy far, far away and a long, long time ago to Andrew and I, but we used to sit and talk about what ifs at somebody else's company. And we used to talk about things that we would try and ways we would innovate. Not for the sake of being different, but for the sake of doing something better, to leverage new opportunities, to do different things, to really be able to stretch and grow and do things the way everyone else didn't do them. You know, there's a pattern that companies fall into where it's easy to do certain things. It fits your staff, it fits your budget, it fits the schedule and the time that you have. We really wanted to do something that was better for you, not for us. We didn't come to Chicago because it was easy. We came to Chicago because more of you are here. And anything like that where we can take the opportunity to do different things. Now, when you work for someone else and you try and push out of the box, anybody ever done that? Yeah. Yes, lots of hands. How long do you have your job? Yeah, doesn't always end well, does it? But I'm here to encourage you to push the lid off. I've pushed the lid off a few times and I've always been glad that I did. You remember talking about this pair of earrings. I had a wake-up call. Now, I was far from unhappy at my 10th wedding anniversary when I got these earrings. I was far from unhappy. Life was great. I was just kind of rolling along. We were comfortable. I was comfortable. I was reasonably happy. Things were going reasonably well. But I never put myself out of my comfort zone. I never pushed. And I want to show you this. I shared this at leadership, and it's a little twisted that I have this up here, because I usually don't show off things like this. I wouldn't say it's showing off. I drew this in high school. If this gives you any idea at how I've always felt, I've always been afraid of being put in and told exactly where I fit and exactly what I'm supposed to do. And yet, my sweet husband reminded me that I'd gotten very complacent and very comfortable. And I worked hard to try to change that and push out of my comfort zone just a little bit more. Now, what could the gallo thing be? What could we do? We sat and we brainstormed about this, and we batted around a few ideas, and we met again a couple of weeks later, and I kept remembering something. I love this picture. This is Mary Kay and Missy. Isn't this a great picture? This is from last year. Where's Missy? Missy's here. Missy, Chicago. Where is she? Or Mary Kay. And where's Mary Kay? Where are you? And Melissa was Mary Kay's first recruit, and Mary Kay came running up to me at the gala. We all had a great time. We had a fabulous time in Chicago. But Mary Kay came up to me this night, and 1 minute she showed me her shoes. And she said, I cannot remember the last time I put on a pair of heels. And I was absolutely ecstatic about that, Mary Kay. Mary Kay was there, brand new business, brand new team member, and she put on shoes for the first time, and how long she couldn't even remember. I love to see people push out of their comfort zone. It's so, so easy to get complacent and roll along and just be who you are and be where you are and have your friends who you've always had and be very tight and very comfortable. But when you push out, you get to experience all kinds of crazy things. I want everybody to do me a favor. I know you got your phones out, you've been on them, posting Unconventional Las Vegas, we're going to Atlanta. So whip it back out again for me, and I want you to schedule something for me right here. I want you to put it on your calendar every week for the rest of your life. Do something uncomfortable. This could be wearing that scarf that you bought on a whim and look at every time and think, I can't put that on, it's ridiculous, I'm too old for it. It could be handing someone a sample in a grocery store that you've never met. It could be something as simple as opening the door for someone who has a stroller. It could be looking someone in the eye and smiling. But I want you to put it on your phone right now. Every single week, at least one time, make yourself uncomfortable a little bit. Push out just a little bit. You wouldn't be here if you weren't willing to do that sometimes. But I want you to go the extra mile and schedule it and make sure that you do it. In a world that wants you to be just like everyone else more and more and just trudge along and take what's given to you and take what's put in front of you, I want you to remember you can always choose to be you. There's a quote that I absolutely love from an author who was very, very prolific in the mid-1900s. And his name has completely slipped my mind right now, but I'll remember it as soon as I get through the quote, I have a feeling. But the quote says simply this: it's a funny thing about life. When you refuse to accept anything but the best, you very often get it. Don't be complacent and just take what's put in front of you and take what you're told to take. Be yourself. Be content with it. Remember that you're always surrounded by a room full of people who are just as self-conscious as you are, who have a lot of worries and stresses, who have a lot of good things and bad things going on in their life. And be comfortable enough with who you are to be who you are and be happy with it. Only you should decide what your limitations are. Only you can say, I won't wear that because that's not me. I won't say that because that's not me. I won't do that because it's not me. Only you can decide that. And I promise you are smarter than you think you are. You're capable of more than you know. You can experience incredible things you've never even thought about. Who sat on a boat after leadership a few days ago and kept pinching themselves thinking, I can't believe I'm rolling down a river in the middle of Chicago. Erin just put her hand up. Yes, I see hands. I remember doing that for the first time. And you stop and it's surreal. And you look around and you pause for a minute and you say, life is awesome and I am here. And no one else I know is for the most part. Look at what I am doing. You can experience all kinds of things. You can meet amazing people. If you haven't met amazing people here this week, you haven't tried very hard. You can meet amazing people. You can see incredible places. You can figure out really, really hard things. But only when you put yourself out there. You've got to push out of the box. You've got to be comfortable with who you are. You got to take a minute to make a decision to do something that's a little bit uncomfortable and reach a little bit. And I promise everything you do will get better and easier, and you'll turn around and you'll be amazed at what you've been able to do. And that is why we chose the theme for tonight for Choose to Be You. And with that, I think my partner is back. Maybe I'll start yelling at you again, Andrew.